Okay, go for it.
Right on. Yeah. So Nick Assa, Senior Development Associate here at Roars. We've also got Eddie Stars, Staff Associate at Roars. We are in Fridley, right off of University Avenue at the Moon Plaza Strip Center, which is we are under contract to purchase and close on here at the end of the month for a proposed 169 unit affordable housing project. Yeah, I can. Do you want me to walk around the whole property, or kind of how does this typically work?
Yeah, exactly. Just pretend that I'm there with you and you're playing tour guide.
Sure. So this is the main street out here, University Avenue. Once upon a time, the project was kind of all up along the street, but the city requested a little bit of a redesign. So it's a C-shaped building that'll start over in this corner here where we're walking. And it'll kind of work its way there. It'll basically replace the building that's currently existing, and then it'll see back up over there. And then kind of where we're standing in the middle here would be service parking, and then there's like light amenities. There's like a tot lot situation, and then underground parking. So there'll be a ramp kind of over here where I'm pointing that'll go underground.
Nick, I'm looking at the drainage system you got there. Are there existing underground drainage vaults, or is it just a tie into an existing storm drain there?
Right here.
Yeah.
That's a good question. We'll have to touch base with Laux on that. I'm not totally sure what the utility situation is. I mean, I'm assuming we're tying into existing utilities. I know the building's obviously supplied with water and sewer, and then there are Excel power lines actually behind the building. You might be able to see them there.
I believe that storm drain system is going to be removed. That I saw that on the demo plan.
Okay.
I don't know about the structure, any structures though.
As far as building structures?
No, the underground.
Underground
Oh,
stuff.
sure. Yeah, no, like I said, I'll have to double check the plans on that.
And have they done any potholing or investigation of what may be underneath the site?
Yeah, they have. We've done, can't remember exactly how many borings they did, but they've drilled on site, basically mostly where the building footprint is going to be, so that they have a good idea of soils. And then
no, I understand about the
environmental.
Yeah, I understand about all that. I'm just curious if they've traced all the utilities that are on site.
Oh, sure. No, I do not believe they have.
And I see a lot of cars in the parking lot. Are some of the businesses still operating?
Yeah, so there were 28 businesses here to start. We've hired a consultant who they actually worked with us on another project just down the street. Very similar setup where we replaced an old strip mall. They worked with us there to help relocate all the tenants. And so here we have engaged them again. 25 of the 28 tenants have agreed to move out, all right around the July timeframe. Some of them are gone. Actually, many of them are gone. Many of them are going to be moving out right around construction start in July. And then there's 3 remaining that we've given them all offers, and they're basically just in negotiations, but no real concerns there. But yeah, to your point about the cars, I know the Bosnian supermarket is one of the bigger square footage tenants here. It appears that many folks are there, and then there's a few others that are still in business that have a few cars here. We'll continue walking around the building too, just so you can see the full picture, but happy to answer questions as we go.
On the demo, that's that contract, is that going to be outside of the master contract?
That's correct.
And is it going to be part of the budget of the project, or is it going to be handled? How is that going to be handled?
So we went back and forth with it, and honestly, I'll have to look exactly where it landed, but we were actually carrying demolition on our end, on the owner's side, and then when the schedule of values came through, they also had demolition, so there was a little bit of a double up there. It sounds like we're probably going to go with Rachel Contracting.
Yeah,
So
you just
the
hold
power.
on before you walk around too much more. Hold on just there. I want to have a couple of questions. So keep finishing. I'm sorry, finish your thought. I just didn't want you to keep walking by.
I think Rachel Contracting will end up being the demolition folks, but we have to do asbestos abatement and lead-based paint abatement, and they really can't complete that work until all the tenants are out. So it's a little bit of a domino effect here. We'll get all the tenants out, then we'll do the abatement testing, and then the final demolition bid will come in. Right now we have 500,000 on our side, which we believe is way more than enough. And then I know the general contractor at one point did have some. I'm not sure if it's still in their budget or not, but either way, it's definitely covered.
Okay. I don't want Matt to forget his thought, but I'm going to ask if he doesn't bring it up. Have you been in touch with the utility companies to relocate those poles?
Yes, and that's where I was going next. So Excel was out here last Monday with our general contractor. They essentially, it sounds like they're going to move them kind of just right over here. And then I think there's enough room there that what they determined, there were two paths. Either they were going to move them just outside, there's enough room there where they're outside of the fall line of the building, so demo can occur. Otherwise, they're going to bury them. I can check in on exactly where that landed, but it did not sound like there was really any concern with the relocation.
How about the cost?
We're waiting for a bid on that as well.
And do you have a line item in the budget for that?
We were pretty much just lumping it with the demo, just kind of a general line.
Well, I mean, undergrounding, how many feet, how long is this parcel?
Do you have that up? Do you know
How long it is?
Yeah.
I said no.
No, I don't know.
I mean, it's several hundred feet in any case. I mean, that can be, these look like, there's quite a lot. You've got a lot of phone, cable TV, power happening there. I mean, that could be, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So
Yeah, no, yeah. Let me connect with Ricky on our side. He was out here with them. He was exploring the different options, well aware of costs associated with it. And I know that they were gonna circle back on that. So for a follow up, we're happy to dig into that a little further.
can you spin around just your right, just kind of follow the power lines? It looks like there's power lines that then go to the property line and then turn along up toward university. Is that also being removed, or is that being retained?
I can check into that as well.
So show us with the camera those areas where it changes property lines.
So I mean, I'm pointing at it right now. There's one pole there, and then it follows back here and then connects there. That fence is the property line. And then you can see it falls straight above. And then, I mean, I can keep walking if you'd like.
Yeah. Well,
Please do.
Sure.
And talk.
Yeah, no, it looks like it connects back that way. There's a power box here. Not totally well versed in a lot of that stuff, but we can, again, I'll get more information on that.
So is there a fence line back there? Or is that just kind of open to the back?
It's just open.
Okay, so the property line is kind of back in the woods there in the trees.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm saying it looks like Ricky had mentioned they were out here spraying the lines. So there are
that looks like a telephone line, a buried telephone line there.
Yeah. I think.
And what's behind us? Is that residential behind us?
There's a senior building back there. I think that's what this one is. I can't actually see it very well. Yeah, I think it's a senior housing project. Yeah. Yeah, Eddie said it is, so
Okay. Thanks.
yeah. There were a couple of tenants with kind of backdoor basement access. So that's a lot of what you're seeing. Like here's one right here.
So there's actually a basement in this building, huh?
Yeah, to be honest, we have not been down there. But there were tenants that were more or less using it as like storage space that were down there. It looks like we actually have a moving truck here as well.
Has the demo contractor had an opportunity to look all the way through the building?
They have not, no. No, we're expecting to get them on site here soon. They've been on site, they just have not been through the whole building.
Okay, well, we want to get confirmation that your demo number is good, because if there's a whole basement that they, may or may not have assumed they have to demo, that could be a big number as well.
Sure, yeah, no, I mean, it comes out accurate just because there's a slope. So it doesn't actually go underground here. This is just, you can kind of see this is 2 levels here.
Yeah,
They're well aware of that.
okay.
So the power line's here, it ends here, it actually goes underground. So, yeah, that was maybe a couple 100 feet, if I had to guess.
And do you have the undergrounding and the asbestos removal all put into the schedule? Is that allowed for?
Yes, yep. So we have a proposal which has been provided for all the abatement, and that is accounted for in the schedule. And then it's well known and very well estimated that the demolition needs to occur and what the costs are associated. We don't have final numbers until all the tenants are gone and we can actually get in there and A, do the abatement, and B, I guess there's probably some other things they need to confirm.
How about building permits and will serve or will issue letters?
Yeah, so building permit is on kind of the last comment. There was one set of comments that were pertaining to civil plans that I believe were mostly to do with utilities, so that it'll probably be a very timely question. Our understanding is that the building permit will be ready to be picked up on the 19th at the latest of this month. So we'll have a will issue building permit letter, and then we'll pay for the permit at financial close out of the construction budget.
Okay.
The will serve letters for utilities. I saw that Nixon had commented this morning that I think just the was it the internet? I think it was the internet letter. They maybe needed some language updated, which we're working on. All the other ones have been provided and to my knowledge are being accepted.
Could you just spin around a little bit to the right just to see what's adjacent to us there?
Oh, it's a church.
Okay,
It was a Catholic church school
Yeah.
or not? Is it just a
Yeah.
church?
I believe it's just a church.
Okay.
They might have a Sunday school or whatever. And then down there, that's hard to see, but a new market rate project within the last couple of years, and it stretches for the whole block. They built theirs right up against the street, and that's initially what they wanted us to do, but then the city pushed back a little bit, so that's why our design ended the way it is. But that a lot of similarities between that one and our project overall.
so have you got a frontage road and a main highway out there?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yep. Yeah, there's a frontage road here. It's not a highway, it's a lot of lit intersections.
We don't have sidewalks along there, right? So, and we're not required to do anything on the street itself.
No requirement on the street. There are sidewalks, and so the city has asked that we improve that, and so during construction it'll likely be affected, but we will be maintaining and improving this sidewalk here, and then I think a little bit over going this way as well.
Okay, I see. Thanks.
Getting back to the negotiations with having the people move out, do you guys see a potential problem with them sort of digging in and either demanding a lot of money or just flat out saying we're not moving?
I mean, initially we were a little concerned about that, but the point at where the negotiations are is they've all named their number and date, and the numbers within budget and the dates are also within scope. So it's now just a function of kind of finalizing the last terms. We had initially, trying not to talk too loud, but we had initially been carrying $1.4 million in the budget for relocation expenses.
Okay.
At this point, based on what they're telling us, we're like worst case, maybe at 700,000 or so. And so the most recent set of projections I sent to Justin had an $800,000 budget for relocation costs. And so, you know, even if things get way out of whack on that front, like we still have plenty of room if we need it. But like I said, it feels, we got an update on Friday. I can share what that said, but basically it feels like we're very, very, very close on having everyone out.
Okay, so has the grocery store identified a new location?
I think so. Do you remember Eddie? He had a location, and so his negotiation was based on what he had estimated the new build out would cost at his next spot. And so they were just confirming with us that that number was acceptable. And then the other piece of that is just when we actually pay them. A lot of people obviously want money up front. We try and push for money to be paid once they actually move. So there's a little bit of that back and forth, but pretty sure that the grocery store does have a new location. He's just waiting to sign a lease until we have an agreement between us. That's correct.
Okay, has the dry cleaner left or are they still in business?
You know, on that one, I think they're out.
Okay, and I see that there was a phase 2 on the dry cleaning saying that everything was okay there. Have they actually been, has the environmental consultant actually been inside the unit?
I'm not confident on that. I'd assume they have been in order to issue their report. But yeah, I mean, they did pretty deep site investigation and provided us recommendations, all of which we're following. So, but we can confirm if that's a concern.
Okay. Any other things, Matt?
No, I think that kind of looks like it covers. I think so. I think, you know, the big questions are just kind of finalizing the utilities and the demo numbers. I think those are probably the big you know, outstanding questions.
For sure. Yeah. If you guys don't mind, obviously we've been walking around. I haven't had a chance to really take any notes. If just any requests or follow-ups you do have, do you mind just like shooting us an email with them?
Okay.
Then we can get back to you that pretty quick.
Great. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And then I guess anything else or you seen everything you need to see?
Yeah, no.
I think it's not that complicated.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty much what we could see on Google, but it's always good to see it in live person, plus for us to have a discussion about the utilities.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, and we've done plenty of these redevelopments, so have run into a wide scope of what we can find, and tried to, budget and plan accordingly. So hopefully it's not too crazy, but
And has your construction company that you guys are either starting up or going to be using, have they completed a project yet?
they have not completed a project under Roars. It's the folks who work there. Carter Vargo is our VP. He's completed tons and tons of projects for 20 plus years. And then Sean Keller was, the genesis of starting our own GC is that one of our favorite general contractors in town was winding down. They were retiring. And so we basically just hired the guy that ran that practice to come and start up his own practice. So he came over and hired a bunch of the same people. They've completed projects for Roars. Sean has, and he's the guy that runs Roars General Contracting. So we have 3 projects in the ground in Minnesota, and I think 3 or 4 in the ground in Texas that we are the active general contractor on. None of them have actually completed, though.
But are under construction?
Correct.
Okay.
And
And
do you know the status of completion on those projects, or can we get that? And whether they're on budget and on time?
Yeah, definitely. Off the cuff, yeah, there are two of the 3 in Minnesota are projects I worked on. They're both. I know the Rosemont project is actually, the buyout is expected to be completed tomorrow, and it's about $2.4 million under projections.
Well, that's a change.
Yeah, I know. When he told me that yesterday, I was like, he told me that on Friday. He's like, "Are you sure about that?"
I haven't heard that refrain for quite a while.
Yeah. And then the other one is actually, it's a rental townhome project, build to rent. I think it's just right on budget. I haven't necessarily heard one way or another if there's big change orders, but the permit, that one's much earlier on in the process, so the buyout's still in process, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So that one's on track as far as we know. I can send stuff over if you just include it in your email there to us. And then the ones in Texas, I'm not as privy with. I'm not necessarily on the team Texas, but I can provide updates as well.
That'd be great. Just help us in our write-ups, since you guys,
Yeah.
It's a newer company, it'd be great to have a little bit of background on how things are going. So
Yeah, absolutely.
And have you sent out any LOIs on this project to the subcontractor?
Yes, we have. I can get you a log there as well if you'd like.
Yeah, no, I certainly would like. It's kind of hard to call it a buyout since you guys don't own the property yet. So, but we'd certainly like to know what commitments are either made or put in writing or people have committed to.
Yeah, absolutely. We can get that.
Great.
Awesome. Well, if there's nothing else, appreciate the time. This worked out well. We're not too far from our office, and like I said, if you just follow up with an email with any of the requests, we can get back to you here as quick as possible.
Okay, where is your office?
We're in Minnetonka, which is 15-20 minutes basically west of where we are standing.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy to come and check on.
Yeah, exactly.
It certainly can be accountable. You can't say, well, we didn't know about it because it was too far away.
No, you won't be hearing that from us.
Well, we look forward to working with you. I will be, are you going to be involved with the project after it closes, or does?
Yeah, we will be. Construction manager will step in and you might hear more from him, but we stay on board all the way through. So
Right.
you'll certainly be hearing from us.
Sounds good. So
Awesome. Well, nice to meet you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Appreciate
nice
it.
to meet you. And I'm going to end the recording. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right.